Welcome to part 2 of seeing if I can actually get a working boiler out of 2 broken Heatline Vezo atmospheric Bambi combination boilers. If you've missed part 1, why have you missed part 1? But there is a link to the full video in the description below, and here's a little catch up. So, before we get started, I thought I'd have a brew. And as you can see, I'm having a brew in our new merch. And we've also done the same thing for phone cases. So if you want one, just get down to the link in the description below and have a look. Well, that's everything taken out. Let's get the parts upstairs, get them stripped and cleaned, and see what repairs we need to do. That's going to need a good cleaning up. Looks no different at all. Yeah, we're very good. So that's the tightness test over, testing the gas. We have no leaks. So let's get on with it and actually get some water into this boiler and see if our repair has been successful or not. Let's get the water on. Up to the boiler. So, do we have any leaks there? Not so far. Let's have a look inside. Oh my god, we've got a leak straight off. It looks like the plate to plate is leaking. That means they're going to have to replace the washer. So let's have another go and actually see if it's leaking. Let's get the water on. So, taking the washer off the other boiler looks to have been a success. So let's get this gas valve back in. Let's get the gas on, the water on, the power on, and see if we can get it working. So let's get the filling loop on and get some pressure in the boiler. Filling loop's leaking. Well, I can't see any leaks down here at the bottom, besides the filling loop leaking. Oh, pressure relief valve passing a little bit. Oh no. I guess I better go and fix the pressure relief valve. The cleaning up of the cup washer didn't work. Anyway, it doesn't seem to be leaking on the inside though. So that's one good thing. So I've taken that one out. It looks pretty good. I've replaced it with that one, and we've got just over a bar and we're not dripping. So I don't know what's up with that one, but swapping it seems to have worked. Now let's turn the gas on. Let's turn the power on. Let's switch it from off to heated and hot water. See what it does. Let's turn the time clock on. The pumps come on. Well, to air vents working. We have ignition. We have flames. And the temperature goes up, the lights start to come across here. So let's wait till we get to the bit of heat in it. The first lights come on. Burner's looking good. Let's check for leaks. We'll look underneath. Looking good so far. So it seems to be working on central heating. Now we do seem to have a tiny drip here. Now every time I've tried to replace these plastic things, they just break up. So I guess we'll just leave that for now and we'll find out and see if it racks up. I doubt it, but you never know when it gets hot. So that is probably the only leak I've found on the inside as we've been testing it. Now we're going to try it on hot water. Now there's no wash basin in this bay yet. So I'm going to be turning the water on and off by this boiler fix valve here. So let's turn the switch to just hot water only. Okay, so we're going to slowly open this and then hopefully it's going to fire up. Let's see what happens. Well, water's coming out the tap and I can hear the flow turbine. But we're not firing up. Let's turn it off. Let's see if the diverter valve motor moves when we turn it on. No. So I can hear that turbine going round, so it's not as if it's not spinning. So we've got to find out now if the Hall effect sensor is working, and we can test that by going onto the board in here. We'll better have a look at that then. Now, first thing I'm going to check is the actual harness. So this is taken off the Hall effect sensor, which is here. So, and I've taken this plug off the board. Obviously the power's off, so I'm not doing this live. So I'm just going to see if we've got continuity from one end of the wire to the other. Now just make sure my multimeter buzzes. Yeah, so we're going to start with the red. So go into the plug here, and then onto the red wire here. So that one's okay. Let's go onto the white wire and into the middle one. That's good. Let's go onto the grey wire. See what we've got here. Oh. So that's still working. So it looks like we've lost the grey wire. The plug looks good though. Doesn't look broken. But we've got nothing there on the grey wire. So what I'm going to do now is take the grey wire, well, take the harness off the other one and then just temporarily put it in and see if we can get it working. So temporarily run the wire onto the board. So let's see if it'll work. Now we're just set on hot water, let's turn it on and see if it fires up. Oh yes, there it goes. Get in. Turned off as well, beautiful. So let's commission this boiler to make sure everything's working correctly on it. Let's start first by checking that gas connection with the good old gas sniffer, because LDS rubbish. Boiler's on. Let's try this gas connection with the gas sniffer. Make sure it's not leaking. Nothing leaking here. Try it underneath. And the test point down there. So we're not picking up any gas leaks. So that's a good start. Let's try burner pressure first. Let's put the water on. Beautiful. $13 millibars plus or minus 1. Fantastic. Let's take one of the wires off here. It should go into low fire. Again, bang on. Absolutely fantastic. Burner pressure is spot on. Don't forget your LDF. Beautiful. Now let's try flame rectification. So let's turn the gas supply off. Burners off. And does it lock out on this right hand side? Just trying to light again. There you go. My rectification worked. Now let's test the low water pressure sensor. So the bar light should come on when we drop the pressure down. So I just opened up the filling loop, put it over the bowl. So let's slowly open it. So it's going into the bowl. And when the pressure drops down, we should get a light saying bar. And there you go. Bar's flashing and we're about 0.7, 0.6. That's working. Now, before I put the covers back on this boiler, I would just like to explain why it is a Band B boiler. So what does the Band B mean? Well, in 2005 in England and Wales, they made it mandatory that any boiler installed in a new build or an existing property, the boilers had to be Band B or Band A efficiency. Then in April 2011, they then outlawed the Band B boiler. So what makes this Band B boiler a Band B? Well, it's really a Band C boiler with this secondary heat exchanger put in. So what this secondary heat exchanger does is heat the return coming back into the boiler from the flue. So it's taking the flue temperatures down to make it efficient or more efficient. Well, not that good. But anyway, how does it actually work then? So this is the return off the pump. And if we follow that pipe up, you can see it goes into this secondary heat exchanger. It then goes down to the bottom end, comes back up, goes round here, goes back down to the bottom end, and then comes back down to here. It then goes into the primary heat exchanger. It then goes down to the bottom end and back, down to the bottom end and back, down to the bottom end and back. And then it then comes out of this flow pipe here, through here, and then into the diverter valve, and then out via the flow pipe. So this is that secondary heat exchanger out of the other boiler. So if we take the lid off, you can now see, I'll take the gasket off as well, you can now see that the products of combustion pass through here. It's like another little radiator, and then the heat is transferred into the water when it's returning back. It then collects the condensate here, which then runs down this black rubber tube what's been getting in the way all the time, and then down to the trap and then out to drain. So that's how the secondary heat exchanger works on this Band B boiler. Now it seems I can turn two scrap boilers into one working boiler. So hopefully you've liked the video. Don't forget, if you want any of the merch, there's a link down in the description below. Also, there's a link for part 1 of this video in the description below. And I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.